bigger, the better. That really works well in the Indian car market. Larger the car, people love it more. And that's the reason why compact SUVs or compact crossovers have gained such immense popularity. Now Honda was missing out on the action, but finally after a long wait, what we have with us here today on the beach of Goa is the WRV. Now this is Honda's bet into the compact crossover segment, and this is going to take on the fight directly to Maruti Suzuki, Vitara Brezza and the Ford EcoSport. Now the RV series per se for Honda hasn't really worked in India. If you look at the CRV, the BRV, both the vehicles haven't been able to do wonders in terms of sales. Now can the WRV finally be the first RV series of vehicle which can turn around the fate? That's what we'll find out. Now let's start off with the design of the WRV. Now it's based on the Jazz platform, so there is a hint of similarity between the two vehicles, but still if you look at the front or overall any angle of the vehicle, the design is pretty much fresh. Now the idea of the WRV's design has been to give it a very dynamic appeal, so that's the reason why you see these sharp angular lines in the bumper. You've got these angular headlamps again, a thick chrome grille up front, and again you see these power lines on the bonnet. So does it work? Well, yes it does. The WRV does look a lot more dynamic than what a Jazz does, and it's got a good ground clearance, so it looks tall as well. So on that score it does stand out. It's got some good road presence. Now when seeing the WRV from side or the rear, well, one can spot a lot of elements that have been added to spruce up the SUV feel. You can see the wheel claddings, the flared up wheel arches, the body claddings. You've got these gunmetal finished alloy wheels, 16-inch alloy wheels. At the rear you've got this very good looking tail lamps which extend right into the tailgate. Now we are inside the cabin of the Honda WRV, and the first thing that strikes one is the similarity it has with the Jazz. Now that isn't necessarily a bad thing, because you have some great differences here which are primarily in the center console, and that's the new touchscreen. Now this is the same touchscreen that one gets in the new Honda City that was recently launched. Now this is a 7-inch color unit. It offers you various connectivity options. It also offers mirror link, and apart from the usual Bluetooth and the USB connectivity, in terms of further explanation of the connectivity, you've got this HDMI port here, a USB, you've got a power outlet here, a 12-volt power outlet. Even under the armrest box you've got a USB and another power outlet. And talking about space, well, the WRV has a longer wheelbase than the Jazz, which is longer by 25mm. What that does is liberates a lot of space both at the front and the rear. Now the seats here, these are well designed seats. They offer a lot of good support for the back, and the side support too is good. Now in terms of practicality, there's you have got these door pockets. You can easily slot in 1-liter bottles. They'll go in easily, and there's space for some more knickknacks that you can keep in. Here as well you can easily place your phone, keys, a couple of small bottles or beverage cans. Now talking about the instrument console, is the same that you see on the Jazz. Even on the steering wheel you've got the volume controls, you've got controls for Bluetooth telephony, and you've got cruise control as well. So overall, from a driver's perspective, everything is in place, the ergonomics are well sorted, and it's a fairly easy car to drive. I have the driver seat adjusted to my driving preference, and for reference my height is 5 feet 8 inches. Now despite pushing the seat probably midways, you can see the amount of space I have, legroom, it's phenomenal. Considering that this is a sub 4 meter vehicle, I have tons of space here, and I checked it with a few other fellow journalists as well. So even if I were to push this seat all the way back and a person of say 6 feet height were to sit in this rear seat, his knees would still not touch the front seat's backrest. Now in terms of headroom, there's loads of space. It's a tall vehicle, so again no issues there. The seat angle also is good, so you can comfortably sit here, and the under thigh support, the shoulder support. Overall, when you're talking about comfort, I think Honda has nailed it here, and this car turns out to be better than any of its competitors in terms of comfort and space. Now we've already seen that the Honda WRV has a spacious cabin and it's a practical car. Now the only thing left to check is the boot space. Honda says the volume of this boot is 363 litres, which is better than the competition. Even in terms of practicality, it scores well because A, you've got this loading lift which is low, so if you have really heavy bags to lift and put into the boot, it's easy because you don't have to lift it too high. We've got 3 bags already in the boot, and there's still enough space to put in probably another one of the trolley bags and maybe a couple of more laptop bags. So now let's talk about how the Honda WRV drives. The first thing to discuss is the engine. You've got 2 of them on offer. One is a petrol, one is a diesel, the same engine that you find in the Jazz. A 1.5 litre diesel engine and a 1.2 litre petrol engine. The petrol engine develops 88 horsepower and the diesel develops 98 horsepower. Now the diesel one of course is the more fun to drive, and that's the one I'm driving right now. We've already driven the petrol version earlier. Now the petrol is good for your daily runabouts and all, but if you're looking for a car wherein you're going to clock a lot of kilometers on a daily basis and you are also going to take it onto the highways, the diesel one is going to reward you more. It's also one of the fastest cars in its segment and the most powerful as well. Now, while it's got the same engine that one sees in the Jazz, there is a bit of difference in the gearbox. Now the gearbox we have here is a 6-speed manual which comes with the diesel engine. With the petrol you get a 5-speed manual. For both engines, the gearboxes feature slightly shorter ratios. Now that has been done to increase the acceleration, to increase the response, and as a result of that, the WRV feels a little more livelier than the Jazz. You can feel that urgency when you're mashing the throttle down to the floor. In terms of noise, vibration and harshness as well, there seems to be a big improvement on the WRV, especially in the diesel version. The ID Tech engine has been known for making a lot of sound. It's been a loud engine overall, but in the WRV the soundproofing seems to have been done very nicely, and as a result this is a lot more quieter than the other Honda cars that come with the same engine. If you talk about the ride quality, well, the WRV, it's a tall vehicle, it's got a decently soft suspension, so well, it's got a cushion ride quality. It soaks up the bumps really well, not much of a problem, and going over bad roads too is easy, again thanks to the higher ground clearance. In terms of handling, it's not a car you would really buy to throw it around on corners, but well, if you do drive it in a spirited manner, it is a neutral car, takes corners pretty well, handles pretty well, and it's stable at high speeds as well. Well, it's a taller vehicle than other Honda cars, so there is a noticeable body roll, but that's only when you're pushing the car really hard. So overall, in terms of driving experience, in overall refinement, again the WRV scores good numbers here. With the WRV, Honda seems to have ticked most of the right boxes. It's a smart looking vehicle. Well, it does not look much of an SUV or a crossover, but it does look more like a dynamic hatchback. It's a large hatchback, you can take it in that respect. Also, it's got a good interior, you've got tons of space. The competition doesn't even come close to this car when it comes to space inside the cabin. It's got a smart touchscreen as well. You've got access to features like navigation, mirror link, so a lot of good things going for it. And all of it will boil down to the pricing. Now, Honda has also given this car some novelty features like a sunroof, which is a first in its segment. Now, all of these new features are bound to push the price up. It is really important for Honda to be competitive and get the pricing as close as possible to the competition while giving more features. So if you've liked the video and the review of the Honda WRV, please hit that subscribe button and stay tuned to Express Drives for more interesting videos and reviews.